And Tyler, appreciate you bringing your bike in. Beautiful bike.
Yeah, good to be here.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, TJ?
Well, I grew up in the Bay Area, lived there for about 20 years, and I was an iron worker for about 10, and worked in Richmond. I was a shop iron worker. So a lot of people confuse that. You know, they think, oh, you're an iron worker. They think I'm like on those steel beams, like that old picture of the guys
hanging like
lunch.
thousands of feet off the ground, eating lunch.
Yeah, no, that was not me. I was a shop iron worker, so I'd go to the same place every day. But we did a lot of like stuff for refineries, Chevron refinery. And one of our biggest jobs was probably the San Francisco Exploratorium.
Oh, really?
We did all that work that was there. All the handrail that goes around it, I think it's like 3 miles of handrail. Oh. So we did all that, and that was a long job.
How long does that take to do?
How long?
Yeah.
That was probably a 3-year project.
Oh, okay.
So 3 years of just building the same identical handrails all the time, you know?
So that's 3 years. For 3 years, all you guys were just doing those handrails.
Yeah, I got lucky. I got there at the tail end of the job. So like I started there and they were on it for like maybe another 6 months. So I didn't have to be there the whole time, but
God, because if I'm doing something for 3 years straight and that's all you're doing, I'm not going to remember the rest of the shit, you know, that I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I know that's handrails, but I mean,
yeah,
God,
you forget how to build like a set of stairs, you know, because I've been doing handrail for so long. It's like, oh yeah, how do I lay out this stair stringer? Forget how to do that.
I think my uncle used to work as an iron worker in Richmond. Have you ever heard of Dale Shepard?
Yeah. He was actually my foreman.
Yeah,
for a long time.
He passed away recently.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he passed away on the job.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Dang, yeah. I knew him for 10 years. He was a great guy.
Yeah, hell of a guy.
Taught me a lot too.
You know,
so.
super. I can't remember any time that he actually got mad.
Yeah.
You know, and I've known him for all my life, and I make a lot of people mad. You know that. You just ask my wife.
Yeah.
But, you know, the dude never got mad and was super even keeled, always like kind of an infectious laugh, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Good guy to be around. And yeah, he taught me a lot too. He was a smart guy. So
God,
I learned most of what I know from him and like a couple other guys that I worked with, but
it's a small fucking world, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got his picture right up there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a boxer for a long time, or way into like the speed bags, you know? And so, yeah.
God, man. Yeah, I mean, that's like I say, you know, once they're gone, that's it, you know? It's the stories are gone with them, and kind of like the reason I started this in the first place, you know?
Have all those memories.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you don't make it big or make it famous or whatever, at least you have these to go back and look on and just like, hey, remember when you said that? Like,
yeah, that's why me and Morgan, we have our YouTube channel, you know, the High Falls Entertainment, and we did it for the same reasons, you know, just having fun with it. And we're like, we're already at these cool spots for cliff jumping and everything. Might as well film it, you know, and just have some fun with it. And if it takes off, great. And if not, then we just have all those videos to look back on, and so that's cool.
I mean, when you're 90 years old and you can't be the depth finder anymore, and you can't jump 80 feet into the ground anymore. Like, I mean, that's going to be something to show the kids, you know, show the grandkids, show all the little shits. Yeah. You know, and prove that you are actually doing something. Yeah. Rather than complaining about, I don't know, them being on, who knows what they'll be on by then. But, you know, it's just about that. It's about the memories and about having fun and documenting it, you know, and that's kind of like a good thing about our generation is that we're able to do that so often and so easily, you know? And, you know, this is kind of just that extra step, right? Because it's kind of like, you ever watch iCarly?
No.
We won't judge you if you did. It's okay to admit that you did.
I don't know. I've never heard of it. So.
Because it's like an old Disney Channel show, right? And it's just like this. I mean, no, is it? I think it's Nickelodeon, maybe. Yeah. Man, it's one of those. I think it's Nickelodeon because it was on that most recent like that Nickelodeon like documentary where all those people were acting like fools and being like super creepy to kids.
Yeah.
But they used to like, it was like this girl's online show that they used to follow around with like little cameras like this, you know? And that was like, I feel like that was like 15 years ago, you know? And it's just come such a long way since then.
Yeah.
We'll put a link in the description of your, of the show. We've already done that with Morgan's, but
we could always use some more exposure.
Yeah, you never know.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
For all the millions of people that watch all around the world. Caught in the moment.
High Falls Entertainment is our channel name. So.
And so you are the depth finder.
Yeah. I go out there with Morgan, and he does more of the cliff jumping, but it's one of those things you got to have multiple people. It's not a good idea to go do it by yourself. You know, if something ever goes wrong, I'm always there in the water if something were to happen, and then I can always pull them out, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll dive down, make sure you need at least 16 feet of depth if you're doing a real high jump.
So what's that kind of rate? So like you're doing an 80-foot jump. You need 16 feet?
The biggest one he's ever done was 105 feet. And so, yeah, I think it doesn't matter whether you're jumping from 40 feet or 200 feet. I think the max a person can go down once they've hit the water is 16 feet. So I'll dive down at least that deep and just do a scan of the area, have goggles on and everything. So check for rocks, logs, anything that might fuck you up.
So you only go 16 feet under the water, regardless, even if it's like 20-foot jump versus 100-foot jump.
Yeah.
16 feet is basically that's
and
constant.
We've done less too. There was a 80-foot jump he did, and he only had about 13 feet of water. So he'll wear his life jacket and all that to kind of, and he'll like brace his fall. Like he'll put his arms out to kind of slow him down a lot.
Well, you could always just belly flop. That way you don't go under.
Yeah, you could. You're going to be hurting. He's come up with a bloody nose before and had no idea how it happened. He just had so much adrenaline pumping. But we think he hit the bottom and his butt hit and it kneed him in the nose. Ooh. And he just came up and blood everywhere. Everyone around on the shore was like freaking out, like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And they were like, "Dude, your whole face is bloody." So, but luckily he was all right. Didn't knock himself out, so that was good.
Shit.
Yeah, we haven't had anything bad happen yet. So,
what about with critters? Because it's mainly freshwater that you guys do it in, right?
Yeah, mostly rivers, lakes, stuff like that.
You got to be careful with even the rivers and lakes now because the bull sharks.
Yeah, apparently. You know? And in Sacramento, they found an alligator.
No shit.
Big one, probably like at least 16 feet or something like that, maybe 10 to 16.
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah, right in the American River. Someone had released one. And I think it was in there for like a week, and they finally saw it and got it out of there. Yeah.
Fuck that.
You didn't think you'd see an alligator out here in California, but...
God, well, if I'm going to worry about alligators, I might as well move to Florida. It's cheaper to live.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. An alligator?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least... actually, in Florida, now they have crocodiles, apparently. There's crocodiles that are living in there now.
Jeez. Yeah, you won't catch me in that water.
Like, if you had to choose between an alligator and a crocodile, you got to choose the alligator every time.
Yeah, not as aggressive.
Yeah, they don't actually get after you, you know? I mean, if you put yourself near them,
yeah,
you know, but...
Yeah, if you act like prey, they're going to treat you like prey. If you're in there splashing around in the water.
Yeah, and plus, if you look at an alligator, like their face, they kind of look like they're smiling. You know, where like a crocodile has like teeth going up and down, and it's like, just like...
Yeah.
Just like a Peter Pan villain.
Yeah, spooky.
Yeah.
I just saw in a video today, they were saying in Florida, like, stay away from anything that looks like sweet tea. The water, like if it's that brownish, reddish color, that's where they're going to be at.
Oh, why? Because they're stirring up the silt?
Yeah, maybe just because they're just not as visible. I don't know. They didn't really get into depth about it, but maybe that's just their type of habitat. Well,
they're kind of advising people to not go in the river at all anyway because of all the water that's in there. It's such a strong current.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently there was some guy that was...
Where, out here?
Here, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All that snow melt?
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's sketchy to be out there. Those rivers are like raging.
Yeah, I mean, there was this... I think it was like a teenager or, you know, like a young adult kind of like 19, 20, that kind of age. And he was like playing football. And, he dove off the boat to go get the football and he never came back.
Wow.
And it's like, it's not like some kid, right? It's this dude.
Yeah.
You don't get stronger than you are in your 20s, or better in shape. And it's like, even if that guy can't make it, then what chance do us? We don't have shit for chances.
Yeah. I've jumped down and like off a cliff and then you're down underwater and it's got a current and you think you're going to pop up within like 10 feet. You're almost like 30 feet downriver by the time you pop up just because the water just takes you that far.
Yeah, and we used to go like floating down the river for my wife's birthday. She really likes doing that. But this year, I don't know, unless we have a super hot summer and like all this stuff evaporates.
Yeah.
It probably ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe getting into like some gold panning. Right now they say with the rivers raging, it's just washing out all that gold, loosening up everything, and it's a good time to go look for it.
Really?
Oh yeah. They said like when back in the day when the gold rush happened, they only got like 10% of the gold. So like 90% of it's still in there. And that was like the gold rush, you would have think they would have cleaned it out, but nope. Damn. It's all just getting knocked out of those rocks and everything. So it's a good time to learn.
Yeah, actually my neighbor, her brother used to live with them and he was like, kind of an older guy. I think it was like 70 or something, but he was kind of like those outdoorsy guys. Mm-hmm. Like here's a guy that was born 200 years in the wrong direction. He should have been born early 1800s.
Yeah.
But here he is in 2025 or 2024. And he used to go camping with basically nothing, just his bow and arrow and a fishing pole.
Yeah.
Right. And a sleeping bag or something. But then, and he would go and like catch stuff. He'd go pan for gold and do that kind of thing, and but then he passed away there.
Oh wow!
He passed away when he was out. Like he goes alone.
Yeah.
Right. And so somebody had found him washed up on the beach, and he pulled his like raft ashore, and that was it.
Jeez. Yeah, we're always in these remote areas on rivers and stuff, and you'll come across like a whole backpack. Just in the river, and you're like, it'll be on the other side, so we can't really get to it, but you're just wondering the whole time, like, oh, is that somebody that got lost or somebody that died in the river? And you just find their backpack,
I mean, somebody's missing it, right? You don't get a backpack to be like, actually, we don't need this. None of this actually.
Yeah.
But for this guy, I got to think that a person like that, that's probably how they want to go.
Yeah.
And
doing what they love doing in the outdoors, not stuck at a job or some office somewhere and keel over right there at their desk.
Yeah, or just like, or even, in bad health at a home or at a, where you're kind of wasting away. Like he was out there, he was fine to do it, no real problems or anything, and then that was just his time.
Yeah, it's dangerous for sure. Being on all those rivers. My buddy Morgan, he actually had to save some kid one time. He was like swimming towards us and it looked like he was struggling, and Morgan was just like, hey man, you all right? You need a hand? And he just like was so panicked he couldn't say like help. You just saw him. He was just like struggling, and he just eventually started just going like underwater.
Splashing in the water?
Yeah, splashing, and just went under all the way. And my buddy Morgan took off all his clothes and just dove in and pulled him out. And he was super thankful. He was like, yeah, I was going to die if you guys weren't here,
how did he get in the water?
He was swimming. This is in a super popular spot in Folsom, like right there under the bridge, where everybody hangs out, swims, paddle boards. There wasn't like a strong current or anything. He just wasn't a good swimmer. And he just thought he could make it out to this rock that was like 20 feet out there and swim back. And he was not going to make it. So he got lucky. We were there that day.
Shit. Yeah. I mean... God, that's a rough go. Yeah. It's 20 feet. It's from there to there.
That's why we weren't sure. We were like, it looks like he's struggling, but I mean, he was only like 10 feet from where we were on shore. We're like, oh, okay, anyone can swim 10 feet. He's going to make it. He'll be fine. And you could tell he was struggling. And once he went underwater, that's when we knew, okay, he's not coming back up.
Shit, that's
time to go.
That's close enough. You could just cast a fishing pole and maybe you snag his life jacket, maybe you snag his shorts and reel him in.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, I think maybe the water's so cold out there too. Maybe that had a lot to do with it. The shock, he was just having a hard time breathing. So that's another, thing to watch out for too, is the temperature of the water.
Yeah, that is kind of a shock, but to get out that far while you're in shock, I mean, I gotta think that guy just, maybe he panicked?
I think so. Yeah, he was a kid for sure. He was probably about 18.
Oh.
So
shit though, 18? I mean, you gotta be able to swim.
Yeah, and if you're not a strong swimmer, you can't really swim, it's like, don't even mess with it.
Go to a pool.
Yeah.
With a lifeguard. Don't go to a river.
Yeah.
If you can't really swim, don't go to a river.
Yeah, flowing cold water.
Go anywhere else, maybe except the ocean.
Yeah, and I think he was there by himself too, so that's always something you don't want to do,
Man, who goes anywhere by themselves?
I know.
I feel bad, but I mean, don't go anywhere by yourself.
Yeah.
I don't even like going to going to the park by myself, that'd be kind of weird. I'd bring my kids, but
yeah, that was the whole reason I got a dog, was because I was always doing these hikes and you look like some serial killer just out there in the woods by yourself hiking alone and getting dirty looks from everyone. So I was like, I need a dog so I don't look so creepy out here.
Speaking of dogs and drowning, my last dog, Willis, when he was a puppy, he jumped into my buddy's pool and I was like, oh, he's a lab. He can swim.
Yeah, they're made for it.
He jumped in there and he just started sinking, right? And his ears were the only thing floating. And I was like, he'll come up. He'll come up. And I was like, shit, he's not coming up. So my buddy's wife gets in the pool, jumps in. She's pregnant, right?
Oh, my God.
Jumps in the pool, saves the dog. And I'm like, oh, Courtney, thanks. I was actually about to just do that.
Yeah, I was going to do that.
I was going to do that.
But now that you're in there.
Send the pregnant lady into freezing cold pool with save this puppy,
Oh, wow.
But the dog came out. He was okay. And the baby came out. She was okay, too.
Yeah.
So win-win.
Yeah, no losses that day. That's good.
But so what kind of dog do you have again?
It's a Belgian Malinois. So those police, military kind of dogs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a good, smart dog, but super hard to train. They're just a lot of energy. So I basically have to hike her like 2 miles every day just to keep her calm,
She's not, is she food motivated or is it all play motivated?
Yeah, all play, balls. If you have a ball, you're her best friend.
Yeah.
And she's just nonstop. I've seen her just tread water for like 45 minutes, just going to get a ball or something and it like sank because it had a hole in it. And she just sat there for like 45 minutes just treading around looking for it.
You gotta, with those kind of dogs, you have to tire them out before you can even start to train them.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, you're tired at that point. And you don't feel like training, and that's kind of how it was with Willis, because he wasn't very food motivated. Mm-hmm. With Sanford, he is all about food.
Yeah.
So he was super easy to train. Well, not easy. Still took a lot of work, right? But it was during COVID when nobody really had shit to do except watch the news and be scared.
Yeah, that's when I got my dog too, was during COVID. And
dude, that's the best time to get a dog. Like, you're at home. Mm-hmm. You are not allowed to go anywhere, really.
Yeah.
And the dog ain't going to get you sick. And the whole reason people don't get dogs is because, I'm never home enough or I don't have the time to train it. Yeah. Well, now you got both.
Yeah, luckily for me, I work at people's homes and stuff, and we're just outside, so I get to bring my dog with me every day to work, so that's nice.
Oh, that's cool. What if there's another dog there?
What's that?
What if there's another dog over there?
Yeah, I'll tie her up out front.
She doesn't care for other dogs. She's more of a people dog.
Yeah, she's a people person. Yeah. Dogs, not so much. But it's funny, too. I've socialized her whole life. She's been around like 10 other dogs, but I guess they're all just her pack now. So any dog that's not in her pack is an enemy. So,
nice.
Yeah, she's getting better, though.
Yeah.
She's getting better.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we should introduce to Sanford, but I don't know if she's ready for that yet.
Yeah, I think last time I was here, I brought my dog, and she saw me petting your dog, and she was going ape shit in the
didn't
truck.
Like that at all, huh?
Not at all.
Oh, she's about to bite through the truck.
Yeah, she's better off leash too. If she's off leash, the other dog's off leash. They can sniff each other. They can run away if they have to. They're always better off leash.
Yeah, that's kind of like And usually the dog that's on the leash is more aggressive because they're like sequestered on that leash and they have to defend basically that area that the leash goes to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they feel like they have to protect you more too, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I mean, me and you, that sounds like a good reason to get a dog, right? Mm-hmm. My neighbor, she had this dog, right? And the dog kept getting out. It was a little dog. Dog kept getting out, and eventually the neighbors on the other side were like, we'll just keep the dog because she needs like some medical stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then like a couple months later, they're like, oh, we want our dog back. And it's like, what? They spent thousands of dollars on fixing the dog. And so then she gets a puppy, right? And she's like a nurse, so she's never home. She has one kid, and he's got like basketball practice and whatever. And he's like 12, right? 11, 12. So he's out with his friends, you know, but they decided to get this puppy. And so I work from home, as you know. And so every morning, this fucking puppy is yapping, just rap, rap, rap. And it's a yap and a howl.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it's the kind that's like.
What type of breed is it?
It's like a shepherd kind of dog, but it looks like it could be part Rottweiler too. Okay. Just because it has that like lame looking tail. Mm-hmm. You know, it doesn't have like a bushy tail or anything. It's got like that. Looks like a piece of shit.
Like a little nub like sticking out.
Yeah. You know, it's a cool dog. It's a nice dog. But doesn't like being left alone, right? Obviously, because it's a puppy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, why didn't you just get a regular dog? Why didn't you just get a dog instead of a puppy? You know, she's like, well, we have the puppy now. I'm like, all right. Okay. Because the dog gets out and I feel bad because it's not the dog's fault that he's getting out, you know? Mm-hmm. It's their fault because they don't fix the fence or however he gets out, right? Yeah. And he got out one time and I like bolt after him all the way up the street. Jeez. So I'm carrying him back and, you know, it's fun for the dog. He likes that. But, you know, I get him back and I put him back and then she gets home and I'm like, hey, the dog got out again. And she was like, I'm so mad at this dog. And I was like, why are you mad at the dog? Yeah. Why? Like I told you beforehand, like you had kind of like a window of time to either know that this is the dog for you, that you're gonna be able to handle it, or to find somebody else that's gonna make it a good home that has time to take care of it.
Foster it or something. Yeah. Just, while you're looking for a new home for it. But yeah, dogs definitely aren't meant for everyone.
Yeah, and it's just like, I think the pride is getting in the way of her doing the right thing, which is finding a real person to take care of this dog. Yeah. And it's just sad because it's a cool little dog. You know, we would take it if it's not. I just don't want an extra dog. Yeah. I got 2 kids and a dog already. You know, and
you got your hands full already.
Yeah. And I feel bad because it's just not every dog owner should have a dog. Yeah. You know.
Oh yeah, I live in an apartment right now, and my roommate, he has 2 dogs, so we have 3 dogs in a small apartment. But that's why we walk him every single day. Mm-hmm. We get off work, and he takes his even further. He does like 4-mile hikes every day.
Is that Morgan's dogs?
Yeah.
What kind of dogs do you have?
He has a German Shepherd and then a Lab Rottweiler mix.
Oh, okay. So that German Shepherd was probably fast friends with your dog.
Yeah. It took about like a week of being in the same house, and now they're all good friends and everything. And he's in the pack now. So
yeah. I've heard that pointy-eared dogs get along better than with pointy-eared dogs than floppy-eared dogs. Because it's like kind of like 2 different sets of dogs. Yeah. Floppy-eared dogs don't usually get along well with the pointy-eared dogs. Okay. And that's why when you see the ones that are like kind of like a mix of both, there's always kind of something fucked up about them. You know, they have the gears up. It's kind of like this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of a little
half cocked.
Yeah.
You're just
like, what are you exactly?
Yeah. You haven't committed to fully up or fully down gears.
You gotta have the fully up or fully down. Anything in between is like, this dog's kind of a liability.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never heard that.
Yeah, but if you look and if you see like the kind of interactions that dogs have at the dog park, like the Huskies and the German Shepherds will usually congregate together. Yeah. And like pit bulls and labs and golden retrievers will usually congregate to themselves as well. You know, and it's it's weird how that works out because you don't really think like, oh, the ears are kind of like a source of racism between dogs. Right?
Yeah, they naturally just segregate themselves.
Yeah. Maybe not racism, but racial intolerance between the dogs. Yeah. And
well, I noticed my dog does not like small dogs.
Oh,
If
really?
you have a little dog, hates little dogs. It can get along with bigger dogs, but any small dog, it's no chance.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know any little dogs that like my dog.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think it's probably because little dogs are barkers, they're just barking the whole time, and my dog gets nervous and, just doesn't like them.
Well, if you think about it, though, like, those little dogs kind of got a shit kind of, like a shit end of the deal of life.
Bad roll of the dice.
Yeah, because you all came from wolves, right? And what happened? Why am I only like 2 pounds? Like these wolves are like 200 pounds. Why am I two pounds?
I got all this wolf DNA in me to be a killer, but no way to fucking kill anything.
It's like, fuck it, I'm going to kill something. Whatever's at that door, I'm going to fucking kill it. Nothing, it's just a bird, kill it.
Yeah.
Just these little
I would
dogs.
think they had to be more aggressive, too, to kind of like puff their chest up a little bit.
Compensation. A little bit. Yeah. But, I mean, how annoying is that? And how annoying are those barks? And because if you think about dogs, right, every aspect of the dog, other than a wolf, has basically been created by people.
Yeah.
Like being bred into it somehow. Why the fuck would you breed a little dog that yaps like that where you can hear it in the center of your head?
Yeah. I've never understood why people love little dogs so much. I'm a huge dog lover. I like all dogs, but I've always liked big dogs myself. There's so much more you can do with them. Mm-hmm. Little dogs, you're not hiking with them. You're not swimming with them. They don't like to play fetch usually. Yeah. Like there's just not much you can. They're great alarm systems for your house, but that's about it.
Yeah, but when you do have that, like, that 10% chance, right, that there's that little dog that is a chill dog that doesn't bark.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool ass dog.
Those are cool, yeah.
That's a cool ass dog right there, because he's like, man, this dog could just be anywhere, and you don't even know he's there.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's good to, like, I don't know, watch Murder, She Wrote with you on the TV,
Yeah.
Because I have 2 kids that climb all over the dog, and they pull at him and everything, so a little dog probably would not have survived. And they like to like lay on him, and I mean he's cool with it, he loves it.
Yeah. You have a little dog that grows up with all these big dogs, and now you got to watch that little one.
Yeah, I think if the dog grows up around big dogs, I think it's a little better off as far as not being a yappy dog, right? Because
I would think so. Just learn everything from the big dogs. It doesn't see them barking constantly.
Big dogs barely. I mean, they need to bark like once.
Yeah,
it's like the cock of a shotgun. Mm-hmm. It just has to once. And you're like, oh, one of those is behind there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Do you hunt with your dog?
No, I've never hunted anything. I've always wanted to. That's something I wanted to get into for the longest time. And
I thought for sure you and your brother and your dad did that.
No, I grew up with friends and their whole families hunted and everything. They always wanted to bring me along, but it was that whole thing of having to get the license and all that, and just never took the time to do it. But
like
always
hunting?
Wanted to, and I think I will someday still. Yeah. I want to try elk hunting.
That's like 2 steps. I was gonna say let's do a pig hunt.
Yeah. Start small, easy. There's no limit on pigs. They're fucking everywhere,
right?
Too,
and you'd probably have a friend with. Or, like those, like Brian's neighbors that have that land. And I guarantee they probably have pigs on there.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, take the pigs out. Or take one of them,
Yeah, I've always just wanted to hunt just for the meat, and I think you would just get more meat from an elk. And I think it would taste better, too, than a wild boar, That wild boar, I've heard, just isn't the greatest.
Well, you can make bacon with it, and you can make like chili with it. It's not like something that you would eat, I think, where you like have a steak of it.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't eat like a steak of wild boar, but like you said, the meat, you'll kill a pig and you'll eat for a while.
Yeah.
And that wasn't factory farmed, and that it wasn't like shot full of all kinds of chemicals. Mm-hmm. And did you hear did the turkey come through on here?
I can't tell if I just heard it.
I heard that turkey out there. I think it came through. I think you might be able to hear it on the folks at home might be able to hear it.
I have tried bear meat, and that was actually really good. Black bear.
Yeah.
We were down at the Clayton Club. You remember that spot, that little dive bar in Clayton?
I'm going to say this. I want it to be perfectly clear. Fuck the Clayton Club. Fuck the Clayton Club.
Yes, I agree. Ever since they lost their management or the new owners took over, that place just wasn't the same. But it was when we were there one time, they had that big grill in the back of it. And this guy, he just starts cooking up all this meat and he goes around to everyone and passes it out. He's like, all right, now that everyone's tried it, I think I'll tell you that was actually black bear that you guys all just ate. And it was surprisingly really good. I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't have told you if it was like tri-tip or anything like that. It tasted just like any steak.
It's super dark in color, right?
Yeah, a little darker. But yeah, they say you just have to cook it longer too. It has to be a higher temp because of trichinosis and all that.
Yeah. So I've also heard that it depends a lot on what the bear eats. Like if they basically are gorging themselves on
fish,
berries.
Oh yeah, berries I've heard is good.
Berries is I've heard that's the best.
Yeah, if they're eating rotten fish and salmon and stuff like that, it might taste a little foul. But.
Yeah, but I've also heard that in the old days, like in the frontier days, they used to hunt a lot of bear, and they used to hunt a lot of deer. But they used to hunt the bear for eating, and they used to hunt the deer for like selling
the hides and stuff like that.
Yeah, to sell it, get the hides and what have you. But
yeah, I heard their trappers. They said their favorite food was, I think, beaver.
Who doesn't love eating beaver?
Yeah.
But I think that, eating a bear, right? People think, oh, fuck, they're so cute. Why would you eat a bear?
Yeah.
But you have these, I think they got rid of the bear hunt someplace in the East Coast, and then there was like bears everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like...
Now they're an issue.
And now they're like searching through your trash, and they're looking for a dog, looking for a cat. They're looking for something that's easy.
Yeah.
If they're going to look for your trash for food, they're going to look in your backyard for food. And if you keep your dog back there, it's going to be food.
Yeah.
And they're just... I think people have just gotten away from that kind of like survival, and they've gotten so naive to where it's like, no, the bears are fine. They won't bother you. The wolves are fine. They won't bother you. And it's like, well, there's mountain lions in LA that they're 90% of their diets are cats and dogs.
Yeah. I've actually heard in not Sacramento, but like Placer area right now, they're having like tons of mountain lion attacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For whatever reason, they're like everywhere right now.
But that, you can hunt those, right? You can hunt
mountain
them.
Lion, no, not in California.
Well, then that's why.
Yep. I think bear you can still in California, but not mountain lion.
Man,
and that's all because of everyone in LA, No, don't kill the mountain lions.
Well, don't you want your cat, though?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you not want your cat to get eaten?
Yeah, I heard there was some lady who had like an alpaca farm, and this mountain lion came and just killed it. Killed all of them, 12 of them, for no reason, too. Didn't, eat them, just killed them, played, just to, play games and just fuck them up, And then
wolves will do that, too.
She actually got a permit to take this mountain lion out and just got tons of death threats from tons of people, so she ended up not doing it. But...
who are these? Why would you sling death threats at somebody who wants to protect their... livestock.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's because they're not threatened by the mountain lions. So it's like, as long as it's not an issue for me, then...
I guarantee if that mountain lion was in their backyard, they'd have a different tune. Like you staring down a mountain lion, even staring down a bobcat.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because those are bigger than a house cat. Like, holy shit, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, we saw one of those in our backyard the first day we moved into our apartment.
Oh, really? In Folsom?
Yeah, in Folsom. We live real close to the river and everything. And at our apartment complex, there's tons of trees and stuff like that, creeks. And we look in our backyard day one of moving in there. And my buddy's like, oh, there's a cat outside. And we just go look at it, and it had no tail on it, the little stubby tail. And we're like, oh, fuck, that's a bobcat, dude. Yeah, right in our backyard,
Holy
10
shit.
feet away from our railing.
Damn.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah, because if they see you, and funny thing about them is they can pee a long way.
Really?
Yeah, I'm talking you think you can pee a lot after you have a couple beers and you can get some good pressure. I don't know if it's mountain lions too, but bobcats, they can pee I'm talking they can nail from here to the wall.
Jeez.
Or from here to that garage door. They can nail that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's a weird kind of flex, right?
Yeah, I don't know why you would ever need to do that.
Yeah, it's like I need to mark my territory, but I don't want to go all the way over there. Just
I'm just gonna spray this whole hillside.
Yeah, because we used to go. There was this like little zoo when we lived in San Mateo, and I used to take my kids there. And there used to be like they would block off extra area from the bobcat cages.
Oh yeah,
because it's like. They can pee up to 30 feet or something like that.
Peeing on all the people coming to the zoo.
What kind of like logic did nature have when they're like, hey, this thing, let's
put a fire hose on this thing.
Let's up the pressure here.
Yeah.
Let's crank it up to 11.
Yeah.
You know, it's 30 feet. Why do you have to pee that much?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I don't know who found that out too. That's kind of a funny little fact.
I mean, probably some guy that's like, nah, that thing's fine. It's going to just run away, and turns around and like you see the business end of it, and it's just, you know, that. I mean, it's probably stinky too because it's meant to mark territory.
Oh yeah, cat
hard to get out.
Cat urine is pretty nasty stuff too. I'm not sure what is that. There's like some disease you can get from like handling. Cat
toxoplasmosis.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a weird one too. People, they find that in like a lot of people in motorcycle accidents have that. And because like they say it like almost gives you like no fear almost. Like it's a weird disease to where it's like it does something to your brain where you just don't have fear. So a lot of motorcyclers, they'll just have it, or they find out that they have it. And that's why they were on the motorcycle or doing what they were doing, probably going way too fast. So it's just kind of a weird connection. Yeah,
plus it gets like if you have it and you're pregnant, then the baby gets deformed. You know, way. Like pretty severely because my sister just had a baby.
Yeah.
And she has a cat. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, what are you going to do about this? And so, she had to have somebody come over every day and clean that cat shit out of there. And like I was going to get her one of those automatic ones, then I found out it's $700.
Jeez.
Whoa.
For a toilet. Like
for a toilet.
My toilet I shit in doesn't cost that much.
Even with the bidet.
Yeah.
You ever use a bidet?
I haven't. I don't think I ever could. It's weird.
So that's what I said too. Yeah. I said that too. And
it seems like it would just make too much of a mess. Like I'd just be soaked afterwards.
And at first I was.
Mm-hmm.
But like my wife is like, I put a bidet in here so we don't have to use all this toilet paper. We're going to save money on toilet paper. And I was like, I thought we were trying to save water, first of all. And second of all, I'm probably not going to use that, right?
Yeah.
First time I go to use it, and like she could hear me scream, because it's like you don't expect it to be that pressurized, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pressurized like it's like a bobcat's pissing right at your asshole, and that thing is it's like
it warm or cold water?
No, it's cold water, but it's like I mean, if it was warm, I feel like that would be kind of weirder because it would be like somebody is really peeing into your ass.
Yeah.
But
it wouldn't feel natural.
Yeah, I mean, but now it's almost like I'm pressure washing my asshole.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Yeah, I imagine it's a lot cleaner,
It is, but it's hard because, usually when you wipe, you don't know when you're done until you see the blood. And then you stop. And that's how you know that you've got it all.
Yeah.
Well, here there's no blood, so it's hard for me to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe after the bidet, give it one wipe just for good measure.
Like the good old one wipe Charlies.
Yeah. Yeah, dry yourself off a little and make sure there's nothing left.
It was one of those things where it's like kind of like a hoity-toity thing, right?
Yeah.
But it is kind of cool. It's kind of nice. But it is weird. Like you do have to like wipe your balls.
Yeah.
You got to wipe your balls off because they're all wet.
That's what I thought too. And I think that's the biggest turnoff for me is like, I'm not trying to soak myself.
Yeah.
How is everyone in the same position? Like you'd think it would be angled differently to where it's like,
you got to move it around.
Might be hitting my backside.
No, you got to kind of wiggle it around in there. Get all the angles. There's one that it suits like, there's two, right? So one is supposed to shoot the back of your ass and one's supposed to shoot the front of your ass. And if you do like, kind of like a twerking motion. You can get it all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely an acquired taste, though.
Yeah,
I will say.
I'm sure it takes some getting used to.
Yeah, and don't mistake it for a water fountain. Yeah,
yeah, that or Do your kids ever try to play with it too?
They don't know it's in there.
Okay.
Otherwise, they would.
Yeah, they'd be turning it on and just squirting the whole soak in the bathroom.
Well, because my wife, she was like, "Look, it works," and so she pushed the thing, and I think she only expected it to be like, you know,
Yeah.
but it shot and like there was no arc; it just went straight to the wall.
Damn.
There was no arc, you know, it was just straight power.
Damn, that is a lot of pressure.
Damn near peeled the paint off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's if you want that business to be done.
Yeah. That'd be nice if it was, such high pressure, just kind of shaves your asshole at the same time.
Yeah, and it's never something that I would do, like choose to put in myself. You know, it's something that she just decided and just put it in because she does all the plumbing here. Mm-hmm. I do all the electrical.
Okay.
That's something we agreed on when we moved in. You know, it's like we got to learn something because we can't have like. I mean, obviously, if we're building new things or whatever, we're going to have somebody that knows what they're doing. But, you know, when I was running the lights here and doing the, you know, hooking up all the fixtures inside and making sure the light switches worked and everything, you know, that was all me. And all the taking the toilets out and putting new sinks in, that was all her.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, man.
I know plumbing's not easy. Those are always the ones like jobs that I'm the most afraid of. You know, one thing goes wrong with plumbing, it damages everything.
Yeah.
You know, all your flooring's got to come up now. And who knows what the water damage was and how much mold is down there now. You know, it's one little drip and it can just cause so much chaos and like mess up so much. But with electrical, like what's the worst that's going to happen, you know?
Well,
I mean, it could burn the house down, but
I mean, my uncle
that's what the breaker box is for.
Yeah, that's the thing too. But I mean, there's been times where I got a little zap. You know?
Yeah, I've gotten it before. Never 220, so that would not be good. But it still hurts.
Yeah, it's like it's like a little reminder of like, hey, better check yourself.
Yeah,
because you're about to wreck yourself. You know, and I have a 220 outlet right there that I'm still trying to. I finally decided what outlet, like what I'm going to have is a 50 amp because my welder.
Okay, yeah.
And it's the same kind of plug if you were to get like a electric car, like that charger for it, you know, to plug in like a plug-in hybrid or whatever. Mm-hmm. Because my wife wants to get an electric car, I want to get a diesel.
Yeah.
And there's really no compromise in that, right? Because they don't make a hybrid diesel.
Yeah, true.
But have you seen those Cybertrucks? We saw one the other day.
Yeah, dude, I've been seeing them everywhere. I don't know if it's the same guy because I usually see them in like the same area, you know. But I've seen like probably 4 of them in like the last week.
Yeah, I mean they're all the same color. Yeah, so it's hard to know.
Yeah, ugly as shit. I don't like them.
I kind of like them though.
I can't. I'm a traditional truck guy, so I like older trucks myself. The older, the better.
Really?
For me, yeah. I love the 70s trucks. That's my era.
You like the step side?
Not so much the step side, but like the Chevy K20s, you know? Those are awesome.
Yeah, my wife has been talking about she also wants a K5.
A Blazer?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, those are cool.
They're starting to come out with the new ones, apparently. They're talking about
those things are getting expensive.
Yeah.
There's a Bronco, like a 90s Bronco down the street from us. This guy's asking $50,000.
Well, what
for
color
a Bronco. It's green.
Oh, see,
not
if it
the
was
OJ.
White.
Yeah, it's not OJ Bronco.
And that was $1 million Bronco, right? It ended up selling for about $1 million.
Damn.
Man, yeah.
But $50,000 for a 90s Bronco with, I'm assuming, over 100,000 miles on it. It's just, it's insane. And the older ones, the first gen Broncos, are even crazier. Those are like 80,000 now.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so up there because it's not like you can take that out and swap a new motor in it because you still have to pass smog.
Yeah.
You know, anything 90s or even 80s, you got to pass smog.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, it's not that hard with an 80s car, but when you get up and you get like when it gets more technologically advanced, it's kind of a pain in the ass to swap it and still make it past smog and everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's especially in California when they're talking about making it so that you can't put a motor with, it has to have the same amount of cylinders as what came out of it, right? So when people go to swap like an LS motor into RX-7, what the fuck did they do? Because that never had any cylinders to begin with.
Yeah.
You know? So, and it's just, you know, I mean, it's people that aren't necessarily, that don't know about cars making laws about cars.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it is. Just same thing with guns. People who don't know about guns making laws about guns.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, they just want to find new ways to tax you too and get more money out of you.
Yeah. Or it could be like a knee-jerk reaction to a crisis that since they did something, that's all they need to do until the next one. Then they need to do something. Like there's these people just have a way of, well, we need to do something. There's no like chalking it up to, oh, well, this happened because of this, so we need to change this. We need to change the stuff that's like, I heard this analogy one time, and it was like, you need to fix the problem. If there's a water that's being polluted, the solution is not to just put a bunch of filters in there. The solution is to go upriver and see what is polluting it and stop that. You know? Whereas it seems like right now people are okay with just putting Band-Aids on things. And
yeah, I assume it's a lot like the hunting thing, you know, where you just have all these people making laws and rules and they're just so unqualified, know nothing about it. And they're the ones that decide how we all get to live. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, America is the worst country until you compare it with other countries. To any other country, you know? And like, that's just, you know, we've grown up here and it's just kind of always been that way and it's kind of getting worse, you know, so on. But
yeah, there's a reason why I think California is the best state, though, and why it's so expensive to live here. It's because it's probably one of the best states.
I mean, the weather, you can do a lot of things within the state, right? People say, oh, you can go to the beach and go snowboarding the same day.
Yeah, my brother's done it.
Yeah, but it's really not that fun to be driving all that much.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're going to be surfing in some cold-ass water, too.
And not only that,
it's winter and there's snow around. And
but then also
cold.
your ears popping and like hurting your ears because you got to go all the way up to the mountains to snowboard and then all the way down to sea level to surf in the same day, you know? And
yeah, I do like the diversity of it, though, of all the landscape. You know, you got the desert, all the mountains and stuff, all the Sierras, and there's a lot to do here.
You have a lot of homeless people here because of that, because basically there's no extreme temperatures, really. You know, I mean, we might get those couple 116-degree days in summer.
Yeah.
But we're not getting anything that's like, oh, it's 10 degrees out today. You're going to freeze to death. You know, it's not like that. And so, I mean, it's kind of, it goes along with one of the great things of California is the worst things of California, you know?
Yeah. All the rules, laws, all that, the taxes, just.
Yeah. Kind of here for the same reason.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, you know, California, it's where I keep all my stuff. You know, where else would I go?
Yeah.
At this point, like my family's pretty much here, and you know, my dad moved to Arizona, but it's like I ain't gonna go to the desert.
No, me too. I can't handle that heat. It's a dry heat, which I think is still better than like Georgia. You know, where it's just so humid, but still, it's just too hot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have a 110 day in Arizona than a 85-degree day in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know?
You're just soaking wet the second you leave your house.
Yeah.
Just with sweat and everything. Not for me. Yeah, I always think about moving out of California, and then I try to just pick a state, and I'm like, no, not that one. No, not that one. And it's like, nope, I'm staying.
And then you're kind of stuck with like, ooh, Hawaii looks good. I'll move to Hawaii. And it's like, oh, there's nothing out there, and it's way more expensive to live than even California.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and now with everything burned down in Maui, you've got people that are clamoring to buy up all the land, you know, and that's a situation in itself. You know, like we haven't really heard about that, right? Lately.
Yeah.
What's up with cleaning up Hawaii? What's up with building the people's houses back up? What's up with all that? You know, it's kind of like,
well, yeah, didn't they have like, they said it would have been like $6 billion to give everybody all that money, fix their houses and all that, and instead they give it to Ukraine. Well,
no, it's not even that, right? It's even further than that, right? So that $6 billion is it's a figure that they lost they miscalculated $6 billion and they decided, oh, well, we're just going to give that to Ukraine too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
yeah, and just how they're not even like telling any of the residents just like any information, you know? It's just
even still. And it's been what, a year?
Yeah, almost.
At least. Yeah. I mean, it's, and
there's so many conspiracies too. Like, who knows what really happened there? But
I mean, there's conspiracies about just about everything.
It just seems like it's so easily fixable, and yet nobody's doing anything.
I think it could be just that they're waiting on people to eventually relocate, and then they'll buy up that, just playing the waiting game with them.
Yeah, probably.
That's too bad because
people
can't
with
really,
money trying to move there.
Yeah, well, you can't really work there and make money and be able to buy those properties anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's out of control.
Yep. Trying to make room for all the Mark Zuckerbergs trying to
buy it. Yeah, God. Oh my God. Yeah, it's just, I think he is. You ever see that clip of him where he's talking to these kids and he's like, well, you're human. And, I was human too. I mean, I still am human,
Oh, yeah.
And you've seen the pictures of him like a couple years ago versus now.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like he's got like an upgrade because he's got colored skin. I don't mean like his skin is dark or whatever, but it's like regular tone color. It's not like pale.
Yeah, I imagine when you have that much money, like he's already has everything he could ever want. So why not start upgrading yourself at that point?
But he's also starting to grow a beard, which is like,
no, I haven't seen that.
Like he's also, I mean, why haven't you? If I had a really pale face where I looked like a robot with, borderline human skin, I would grow a beard. I would hide it as much as I could.
Yeah. Well, it's just like Donald Trump, he still keeps that goofy haircut, even though he's got all the money in the world.
Yeah.
You just have that much money, so I don't need to look good for anybody.
Yeah, I remember
I can still get whatever I want.
He had somebody tug it, too. Because somebody asked to tug it, and he was like, it's real.
Well, of course it's real. Who would fake that? Why would somebody get a toupee or something, have a shitty haircut?
I gotta think, I mean, it's happened before.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's happened before, but there was, oh man, I was, So if I were Donald Trump, what I would do, and it would be game over, is grow a beard. Like,
okay.
First of all, you're getting like a bunch of charges thrown at you. You grow a beard, and you're like, I came back. Like Ulysses S. Grant kind of thing. There hasn't been a president that's had like facial hair in too long.
Damn. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Way too long. And I just think that we're ready for that right now. We're ready for a bearded president.
That would be cool. He's got my vote. If he grows a beard, he's got my vote.
Plus, it'd be a pretty sweet beard,
Yeah.
I mean, Donald, if you're watching,
make it happen.
Like and subscribe.
They say people with beards are harder to knock out, like in a fist fight.
Really?
If you have a beard, you're harder to knock out.
Because you got a little bit of cushion?
There might be a few different reasons, but yeah, I think it's a little cushioned. And then you also can't see like the button, somebody's button to knock them out. It's harder to find. And then I think if you have a beard or are able to grow a beard, that means like your relatives, ancient relatives, were like warriors back in the day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if you can't grow a beard, that probably means your family did not come from a warrior culture.
Wow.
Something like that.
I mean, that kind of makes sense. Because we did you ever do the 23andMe thing?
Family members have. I think my sister did.
Well, I mean, if your brother does it, it's pretty much the same thing as you doing it.
Yeah, we're basically just mutts. Anything white, we got a little bit of everything.
Because we did it with my wife's family for like her and her sister and her brother and her mom. We all did it one year for Christmas. It was like her mom's gift to us, right? She bought us all the 23andMe thing, and we all spit in the thing and sent it back. And then she
find
kept
out
all the
anything
results.
crazy relatives out there? Or?
Yeah, I'm related to Otzi the Iceman, the oldest person ever found in the permafrost.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I am.
That's funny.
Yeah, like direct descendant. But one thing that my wife found out was it came back saying you have a close relative that's looking for their family. It's like, what?
Dang.
Like really close.
Find some like long lost brother or sister or something.
Yeah, and it was like it's close enough to where it's a match for your dad's sibling. It would be your dad's sibling. So it's like,
damn.
She's like, what?
I have an uncle I've never met.
She had an aunt. She
really?
had an aunt that she never met, and that so apparently my wife's grandma had a baby out of wedlock, and it was bad to do back then, super bad to do, and they you get shunned and and smited or smoked or whatever.
Yeah,
and,
the church wasn't too happy.
Yeah, and so they hid the baby. They gave it the doctor, I guess, gave it up for adoption, and that was it. Then she had 3 boys.
Wow.
And took that shit to her grave and never told anyone, never a soul. And
couldn't imagine that.
Yeah, and she won. She kept it forever.
Yeah.
And then this lady does 23andMe, and then we do it, and it's like she's looking for her family, and then so my wife reaches out to her, and she's like, yeah, it was this. Apparently, she worked at the cannery and blah blah blah. Basically, described her grandma.
Yeah,
you know, and she had never got to meet her, so she had to tell her like, "Sorry, your mom passed away a couple years ago." Mm-hmm. But she got to meet like obviously I've met her, and she's met her brothers now, and it's a crazy fucking thing, you know?
Yeah,
like,
technology is so crazy. Like you could have a twin out there, you guys get separated at birth. And then you find each other later on in life, and you're like doing the exact same job.
Yeah, you could be a triplet.
Yeah,
there could be a third one of you guys running around somewhere.
That's right.
You never know.
Yeah,
but just a trip. Like you like see those kind of things on like Lifetime movies.
Yeah,
you know, or something like that, where it's a long lost relative, and that's such a cliche term, long lost relative, and you don't think like, what if that really happened?
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah, now it's pretty like easy to find out, you know.
Yeah.
Even if like I don't do the 23andMe, other people that could be related to me might, you know. I think my family did it, and they found out we were related to Andrew Jackson, the president. Yeah,
Jackson. Yeah. Was that $20? No.
Yeah,
20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 20s. Ballin'.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, that was probably the only interesting person we were related to. Or
every time I see a 20, I'm gonna think of you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna think, yeah, it does.
I can see the resemblance.
He's got his nose. Yeah. Okay. I see that now.
I heard he wasn't a very good dude, though.
I heard that too. Wait, Jackson. Wait. I think he's on the $10 bill, right?
That's Hamilton.
Hamilton. That's right. That's the one that they were gonna change out for. Was it Harriet Tubman or something?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Not sure.
What did Jackson do, though, that was so bad?
I don't know. I haven't done too much research on him, but I'm sure he was like probably a slave owner or something like that.
Everybody was back then, but I mean, you know, slave owning, yeah, I mean, it was a kind of a dark point in the U.S. history.
Yeah, I guess since I found out I'm related to him, I should do a little more research, see what he's all about.
But I mean, with every transaction, yes, the Americans were bad for buying slaves, but who'd the receipts come from?
Yeah.
Who sold them? It's kind of the same thing with like Epstein,
I think,
right?
Blacks did it to themselves. They were black slave owners, and they sold blacks to whites when they came over there.
There was also periods in the times with the Barbary Coast. I don't know if you heard about this, where it's like people from like the Caribbean, that kind of area, would sail to like steal a bunch of Celtic people and make them into slaves, you know? And so it was just kind of the way that the world was working back then. And it's kind of like with the Epstein thing, right? Why? So Epstein got in trouble. He got thrown in jail. And that woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, got thrown in jail. Mm-hmm. So those are the sellers. What about the buyers? Because this transaction's two sides, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
true.
it's like, oh, no, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that, no.
I saw a funny air freshener today. It was a air freshener hanging on the mirror of a car, and it had Jeffrey Epstein's face on it, and it said this air freshener did not hang itself. That was pretty funny.
God. Yeah, I mean, and then you have this thing with P. Diddy now.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much about that.
Apparently, it's a pretty similar thing where he's like grooming and basically,
has a little pedophile ring going on or something.
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, it's kind of, if you go back and watch those like Justin Bieber videos with him, and where Justin Bieber kind of like wants to not really hang out with him anymore, you kind of see why.
There's probably so much weird shit that goes on in Hollywood, though. Like all that Bohemian Grove and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's here in California.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've watched those kind of videos where I think it was Alex Jones that went to those things.
Snuck in there. And
do you ever see? There's an old recording of not Jack Nicholson. Fuck, who am I? Richard Nixon.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what. They're two very not similar people, but
similar names, I guess.
Richard Nixon. I could see him playing Richard Nixon though.
Yeah.
But Richard Nixon went to those places, and because obviously he's part of Washington, right? So he went to those, and he's on a hot mic saying, it's about the most faggiest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, that's funny.
You can't talk like that now.
Yeah.
I may even have to bleep that out. I won't. Yeah. But, it's just, it's a, when you get that kind of influence and that kind of power or that kind of money, it's just, I don't know why that's so attractive. Like that kind of secret society thing.
Yeah, I would think it's just because there's nothing else left. It's like I can already buy anything I want. And it's like the only stuff you want to do is stuff you're not allowed to do at that point. Yeah. I can have sex with any woman I want. Okay, but not an underage. So that's now what they want is all the stuff they can't have. They're so used to having anything they want.
Yeah.
So
like with the people that have so much money that they're able to like throw money at politicians' campaigns and like influence policy and things like that. Like
get new laws written and
like our buddy George Soros or, things like that, where you have become like a legit evil person, like a legit villain, I mean, imagine, put yourself in in his shoes. So you're in the Nazi Holocaust, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jews are getting killed. You're in Hungary. You're Jewish. And, you have the opportunity to, instead, you can turn all your neighbors in and sell all the stuff, all their shit that they left behind because they're now in concentration camps. So you sell all their shit, and that's how you made your money.
Jeez,
and
people are ruthless, man.
And in an interview on 60 Minutes, it's the most cringiest thing you could see. And then the host asks him, do you have any remorse? Are you like, and he's like, oh no, I don't feel bad about it. Like, how evil do you have to be?
Yeah.
To be Jewish and to be against your own people and selling their shit and like pointing them out to other Nazis so that they get taken away and you get to sell their shit.
Well, yeah, that was like that story, like Fritz Haber. You heard about that guy?
No.
He's the one who basically invented Cyclone B, the gas that they used on the Jews, and he was a Jew himself. And he was the one who invented it. And it was, I think it was called Cyclone A, and they just take out one molecule, and that's what takes like the smell out of it, so you can't smell the gas. And that was Cyclone B, and that's what they used to kill all the Jews, and he was a Jew himself.
Shit, I did not know that.
Yeah, Fritz Haber, I think, was his name. It's crazy. His story is pretty crazy.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's... we might be going through a similar thing now with AI, right? Because it's not that, you're a Jewish, you're going to kill Jewish people, but it's going to be where you could easily, kind of like nukes, where you could easily be in charge of the end of the world.
Yeah. I don't see how they don't see that coming, that shit show that's about to happen with all this AI and like, you got to see it coming, eventually.
And we do, and everybody does.
And
but
it's still unstoppable. They're just going to keep doing it.
It can't be stopped because the box is already open, right? Pandora's box is open. She only comes out. She doesn't go in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's since China's working on it, we have to work on it.
Yeah.
You know, because what if they get it first?
Mm-hmm.
Because instantly then all your data, all your codes, every encryption is basically might as well not even be there.
Yeah. All compromised.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like you have to, because
yeah, if you want to survive.
Yeah, I mean, because they still, I mean, that's where COVID came from.
Yeah.
Right? And it's only a matter of time before something else like that happens, because they don't really have, it's kind of a weird way to think of things, but they didn't create any of this, right? They stole the technology, reverse engineered it. And so they're sitting on the shoulders of giants and wielding weapons that they have no business wielding, because they didn't make them. They don't understand the moral focus that went into this.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just basically doing it so that they can have the power over the world.
Yeah, there's a really good quote. I don't know who says it, but they say humans are the sex organ of the machine world.
Oh yeah.
So no matter what, we're just always going to be pumping shit out, you know, without even knowing what we're doing, and just can't help it.
Wow, yeah. My wife always says that I am kind of a dick, and I guess that kind of works out that way. The sex organ of the machine world.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just can't stop fucking.
Yeah. I'll be damned.
Yeah, just pumping out new technology constantly. And eventually it'll just grow like a caterpillar, you know, and turn into a butterfly, and just AI will just be everything at that point.
Yeah, and it's only a matter of time, because you got to think that now Terminator 2 is just a look into what's to come, rather than science fiction, you know?
Yeah, all those interviews with all those like AI robots, that stuff creeps me out so much. Like,
I don't even watch those. I can't even watch those.
Yeah, when they're like, "What do you think about humans?" and it just says like the worst shit you can think of. Like,
they are cute.
Humans are like a disease. I can't wait. I would murder all of them if I could. and you're like, "Oh, good answer." On to the next question.
Let's pull the plug on this one.
Yeah,
okay, melt it down.
Yeah,
melt this fucker down.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The future is going to be crazy to see. Definitely.
If we see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll end it on that high note.
All right.
All right, man. You want to let's grab a beer.
Cool. Sounds good, brother.
All right, guys.
Thanks for having me.
See ya.